Hey y'all, and welcome to the video. The subject for this video is water pumps on the 5.9 and early 6.7 Cummins and their life expectancy and my history with water pumps. This applies to the 03 through 07 5.9, the 07 through 2012 6.7, and I had a viewer comment on a video that I made about 2 or 3 years ago detailing my history with water pumps up through that point, and the viewer wanted to see if I could do a follow-up on that 2.5 years, 3 years later. So I said sure. So to review, first off, the quality of water pumps aftermarket doesn't seem to be very good, although they are affordable. The OEM pump seems to be the one that has a fighting chance to last you 100,000 miles without the gasket leaking or anything like that. With that said, the cost difference is like 5 times the price to get an OEM one versus aftermarket. So let's review my history, and we'll go from there, and we can make conclusions. So Gates pump, I actually have one right here, and the main point of failure I have is the gasket letting coolant leak past it, and leaks down the front side of your block. And here's the pump itself. This Gates one, while I did not have a good opinion of this pump at first, turned out that this has been my most successful aftermarket pump. This was the first water pump that I bought when my OEM one went out. And this pump lasted 70,000 miles. I installed it just with the gasket, no gasket maker on it. I was worried about gasket maker breaking off, circulating in the cooling system, possibly plugging the radiator drain valve or something like that the next time I was to drain the radiator. So I didn't want any debris floating through the cooling system. So that's why I installed it dry. And this lasted 70,000 miles that way. And this one here, this is a 5.9 style. It's got the metal impellers, and 6.7 would have plastic impellers, but they are interchangeable. So what did I do? I'm like, all right, that Gates one, I didn't like it because I wanted to get 100,000 miles and I didn't. So I went to Carquest, went to Advanced Auto Parts and got Carquest brand. And that one, same looking pump. I installed it the same way, no gasket maker, and it only lasted 40,000 miles. I only got 11 months out of it, actually, at the time. And 40K miles is all I got. So the very next year, I had to do my water pump all over again. So I went back to Advanced Auto Parts because it was under warranty, and I got a free one. I'm like, I'll try another one. But this time, I'm going to put some clear gasket maker on there. Basically, around this circle, put a bead of clear gasket maker. I did that. Once again, about like 13 months later, started leaking, but it had 49,000 miles on it. So I basically increased the life expectancy of it by almost 25%. But still, 49K was not cutting it. It's half of what I expected to get out of the pump. So I went back to Advanced Auto, and I'm like, you know what? Let's try this one more time. We're going to get another free one under warranty, which they gave to me. They fought with me about it because it was a second warranty. But they gave me a free one. And, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. These are like 30 bucks. But they gave me another free one. And I took some blue gasket maker like this, and I put my bead around the circle and, and installed my gasket. And that water pump was the one that I had freshly changed before that last video. And that pump is still on the truck with 68,000 miles, almost 69,000 and counting. So it's basically matched the Gates life expectancy from my first round, but it has potential to make it to 100,000 miles. So we'll see if it does. I was actually expecting to have to replace it by now, actually, after my last 2 pumps. But this might be a winner right here. Blue gasket maker, resists water. So that's the story on the 5.9. How about my 6.7 Cummins? I swapped a water pump around that time as well, about 2.5 years ago. And for that pump, Same design, plastic impeller, but same concept. But I use this. This is all I had in stock at the time. Ultra black RTV, or yeah, it says RTV, ultra black. This one is high oil resistance, but after doing a little research, I found it was okay to run with exposure to water. So I put that on that truck. So far, so good, but it's only got 25,000 miles on it, so there's not a whole lot to conclude, but not a complete disaster over there. It's still doing fine. So that's the update on water pump life expectancy. Basically, I would recommend using a gasket maker rather than installing it dry, and I would recommend using this blue one. That seems to be the winner for me. So that is the update on my history with water pumps. And if you really want a good water pump, I would just get the OEM one, but you'll have to decide if it's worth paying 5 times as much money to only get maybe twice the life expectancy or less. I might actually hit 100K with this $30 water pump that's on the truck. So it's up to you which way you go. So that's all the info I have for today. Y'all have a good one. I'll see you next time.